Oh, I know why. I have fucking duct tape over my camera.
Dude.
Got it. What up, Jeff?
What up?
Sorry, guys. I'm in outer space.
Hi, you green screening, you little bastard.
Hey, just so you know, we're recording, so it's
Okay.
probably been a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'll
Jeff?
start. I'll start the timer now for 30 minutes.
Boom. Okay, it's been probably like 2 minutes or something. But guys, this is pretty cool. I got to say.
Yo, first off, how the hell did you get that cool background?
Oh, it's not a background. I'm actually in outer space, and my lungs enable me to breathe.
First of all,
Yeah,
I was gonna say
space.
no one in space can hear you scream, right? In space, no one can hear you scream. So
But yeah, this is going to be streamed live eventually. So everyone, like an hour from now, welcome to the Whatever Bro podcast. Okay,
What's up?
we got
Yeah.
Scotty, we got Jeff, we got Justin. I was about to say sound guy Justin.
Yeah, I'll take it. Corona edition.
Yeah, special Corona Mania edition. When I edit this, I'm going to try to fancy it up with Corona stuff. But what's new, guys? You guys been trapped in your houses for as long as I have, I'm assuming?
yeah,
I'm actually looking forward to Justin's take on everything. I know he's going to have some sort of. I want to know how you feel about this, Justin. What's actually happening here? What's actually going on?
First of all, this is the first time I've taken my electrical tape off of my camera on my laptop.
Yep.
Because I don't know if you guys remember this, but like last year there was this big issue where hackers could hack into your computer, and if you were on like Pornhub and you're just jacking off in front of your computer, they could record you and then blackmail you with your own masturbation porn. You guys remember
It's
that?
happened to me. It's happened to me. And you know what I said to him? I said, fucking do it, bro. I don't care if the world sees me jerking off.
Exactly.
Okay.
What does it matter to them? They get to see our dicks. You're welcome.
Dude.
You're welcome. Joe's sanitizing right now.
Joe's getting ready to crank it right now, it looks like.
It is pretty cool.
Oh, shit.
So
But yeah, Justin, what's your take on this, man? I've been wondering what you feel about what do you think actually going on? Is there a conspiracy? I know.
No, I'm not one of those people who thinks it's a conspiracy at all. I think it's a legitimate issue. A dude ate a bat on the other side of the planet, and that just goes to show you the ripple effect. You ever hear that old kind of hippie expression, a butterfly flaps its wings on one side of the planet, and then there's like a tsunami on the other side of the planet? I'm totally fucking that up.
it's
Yeah,
it's
I've
basically
never
the
heard that.
butterfly effect, which is what the movies are based on.
Oh, yeah, it's actually called the butterfly effect. Thank you. I'm fucking ranking shit.
Yeah,
But that's kind of what this is like, the Chinese guy eating a bat effect. Like a dude ate a bat in China, and now like the stock market has crashed and no one can go to work.
you're right.
All because of this bat that wasn't cooked enough.
Yeah.
Or was being sold on the streets of Wuhan or whatever the hell it is.
I'll tell you one thing that makes me nervous about this. The only one thing that I haven't had any really anxiety about any of this shit. To be honest with you, I just stay inside and wait for it to pass. But the one thing that does bother me is how easily this just crippled our economy. So if you're ISIS or any kind of organization that wants to like cripple a country, it's like, oh, let's just make some virus. You know what I mean? I just hope that this is a nice rough draft for us. Like next time it happens, people in power are like, all right, here's what not to do. Here's how to handle this better. You know what I mean? Because we weren't prepared for this shit.
Yeah, I think though if they want to cause terror, they'll just fly an airplane into a building, or
True.
you know what I mean. Instead,
Easier.
yeah, imagine like they're thinking like, you know what, we want to make them suffer and stay home with their kids.
Dude,
Let's make a virus.
Yeah.
just eat a bat. Like that's all you have to do. Just eat a weird animal and you can literally shut down the world.
Yeah,
Do you
Justin,
think that after this, people in China stop eating like crazy foods? Because I know
Nope.
that's something their culture does.
Nope.
You don't think
Dude,
so, huh?
you know why? Because this is the second fucking time it's happened. I believe it was.
Justin's walking around with his laptop like that girl at the club one day who didn't even have a phone. She's just like, yeah. Woo.
yeah.
Who
you know
shot?
what, Justin? Justin reminds me of like the grandparents that use the webcam for the first time.
Yes.
They're like, how do you use this
Where
thing?
are you, kids?
Wait, so I can. Oh, by the way, yes, my tooth is chipped. I can see you through the computer.
I can't wait for all the comments saying something about Scotty's teeth.
Yeah, I've been trying to like stay back. But, yeah.
So
Dentists aren't open.
Scott, do you want to explain what happened to
No.
your tooth?
No, I don't.
You don't want to address it.
I already did.
All right.
I just banged my head and chipped my tooth, dude.
Now we can whistle while smiling.
Simple as that. Yeah.
That's
simple as
awesome.
that.
So while you work.
Oh, Joe, you're back. You're back
Sorry.
from outer space. Oh, there we go.
I was just playing around with these things. Anyways, yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So, as Scott was saying, do you think this will happen again with the Chinese eating weird animals? Absolutely. And that's because this is actually the second time this has happened. I believe it was the initial SARS outbreak was, or I think it was SARS, something similar. It was the same shit. Someone ate a weird fucking animal at one of these wet markets in China. That's where they have all the wild animals kind of on top of each other.
Yep.
And that's how the last pandemic started. I forget.
Yeah,
what
and there have been so many. There's like, we talked about this on one of the podcasts. There's SARS, there's MERS, there's avian flu.
H1N1, right?
Yeah, and most of them are coming from China or some Asian country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the problem is they have these wet markets with all these wild animals that they caught because, they're eating the weirdest shit. Like, who the fuck eats a bat, for example?
Mm.
And so
Ozzy Osbourne.
right.
Yeah.
So the last time this happened, the Chinese government stepped in and they said, all right, no more of these wet markets because it's causing these global pandemics. Well, after a few years, they got comfortable and they fucking let it slide again. And now we're back to square one. Now we have the coronavirus.
Yeah,
and
this
again,
yeah.
they said, all right, this time for real, we're banning it.
Do you think this is why, like, Trump, and I watch the least news out of anybody here, but why Trump was originally calling this the Chinese virus because he's kind of pissed off, like, which is not the right thing to do.
I took it as
understood
that.
where he was coming from, yeah.
Which is, it's weird because he was all buddy with Kim Jong-un. Like, he actually went there and hung out with him. And
that's Korea, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
That's North Korea. They're different people, for Christ's sake.
Hey, what's this? Is this a podcast or geography lessons, huh?
They're all the same to me, dude.
Hey, you got the planet behind you, bro. Figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just staying home. Like, I've come in contact with one person the whole like last week or two. Like, I haven't even seen Joe. I haven't seen him because I have this weird. My only fear isn't that I'm gonna get it. My fear is I have it, don't know it, and it's gonna like trickle to somebody's parents, and I'm gonna be like living with guilt for the rest of my life because I fucking inadvertently killed some old lady. Yeah. So I'm staying the fuck in.
Yeah. Has anyone had any like cold symptoms or anything? Like, have any of you felt even slightly under the weather?
Nothing.
No, feel fine.
Me too. The Whatever Bro podcast.
No.
I was about to say is healthy, and he coughed.
Sorry.
Patient zero.
How long do you think this will last? You guys have any clue? Because I'm thinking at least another 2-3 weeks.
Oh, I think into May. I think May it'll die down because viruses don't just stop. I do think with the warmer weather, it will improve. That's what's happened historically with different flus.
Yeah.
Once you get out of the cold weather, it tends to get better. I don't know if that has to do with the temperature or what.
I think it has to. If I had to guess, I would think it was because your immune system works better when it's not cold. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me and Justin were on this COVID related topic. We were talking about how people are still looking for attention.
Always.
Last time we talked about it was with Kobe, and everyone wanted to make Kobe's death about them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're making COVID-19 about them.
Right.
Yes.
I try to stay. Tell me, because I try to stay off the fucking internet. But what the hell are people using now? How do they bring COVID into themselves?
Justin brought up the hero thing. Like, everyone's trying to be a hero.
Yeah. So I'll probably get a lot of flack for this, but I think there's certain occupations where people constantly refer to themselves as heroes. Which, by the way, rule number 1, you cannot refer to yourself as a fucking hero. All right? That's
not a hero thing to do.
It's too douchey. It's too douchey.
If you're not a nurse and you post about nurses being heroes, that's awesome.
That's one thing.
You're not talking about yourself, but there are like nurses and shit out there saying like, "Hey, I'm on the front lines."
We know. you don't need to tell us that just you are on the front lines.
Yeah.
Like we know. Doctors and
Every
nurses.
day I'm saving lives, you know. How many, dude, how many, is it just me? I see like fucking 10 hero nurse memes a day, which is fine, but they're posted by the nurses themselves.
Yeah. I love that I can only see above your teeth.
He looks like Wilson
can't
from
find the
Home
fucking
Improvement.
I can't find the right angle for
Please
Hey,
don't
guys.
lose your connection.
I'm Justin, and I have a bad connection, and COVID-19 is all bullshit.
I steal my internet from my neighbors.
That's why, yeah. Yeah, no, I do give a lot of credit to doctors and nurses right now, because if I was sick, they'd be my number one, like, oh God, thank God, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yes, we get it. Like, doctors and nurses are the most important. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
You know what I'm even worried about is people that work at like the supermarkets and shit like that. Like you
Right.
got all the sick people that are going in to get
Those
groceries.
are heroes, right, Justin?
That's what I like is the cashiers and the stock boys, they're stealing the hero shine from the nurses, and the nurses are pissed. They're like, hey, we're the fucking heroes. We're the day one heroes. Fuck the stock boys. Fuck the cashiers. Nurses, baby. They're getting upset.
I'm glad I'm not a nurse right now, though, dude. I would not want to go to work, bro, because you know you're gonna get it. Pretty much,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna get it.
Here's the thing, though. You even outside of this contagion, you'll see memes posted online by nurses like, I go to work every day and I save lives. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's part of your job description. If you were just letting the people die, you would be a terrible fucking nurse. Like, you'd be fired instantly.
So you're like,
"Oh,
I hope you're saving lives.
yeah,
And
yeah.
That's when you filled out your application. That was probably one of the checks you needed.
That's what
Right,
you went to
right.
school for. You went to school for that. So
What
like,
happened to Mr. Jenkins, Nurse Susie? I didn't feel like giving him his antibiotics today. I didn't feel like it, so he's dead. Oh, well, then you're a terrible fucking nurse then.
Now you're a supervillain.
I'm
Yeah.
I still got to give props to my nurses and doctors, though, man, because imagine if they were all sick, we'd all die, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone can stay home. Like we're fortunate to be able to lock ourselves in our house.
Yeah, and that was the thing too. A lot of people you guys remember like when the lockdown, they first started talking about lockdown, everybody was freaking out like the militia was coming and stuff. Like it's like all they're forcing you to do is chill inside with your heat and your hot water and stuff. You know, I know it sucks to be around your kids all day, but you're the one that had them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, that's another issue that I'm actually loving now is you see a lot of people saying, oh, in 9 months, LOL, there's going to be a whole baby boom, all these corona babies. Which, by the way, if you do get pregnant during this time, please name your child COVID-19. I want that to be the hot new
Little baby Covey.
little COVID. It's time to go to bed now.
Well, I hope, I just got to say one thing. I hope that doesn't happen, because I think that this is Mother Nature's way of saying, excuse me, you're overpopulated and you're treating the planet like shit and you treat each other like shit. Here's a virus. Like, it's very possible. So this is a population control thing, if you ask me.
Yes. And actually, nature is doing great during this whole lockdown.
Oh,
There are dolphins returning to like
Italy, the canals.
Yeah, the canals. Smog is clearing up in places like New Delhi, which is a notoriously, filthy place.
Absolutely.
So yeah, nature and the planet is doing great with everyone staying home and people dying. So that's an interesting, idea.
I hate to use that, but it really feels like that to me. Like when a tsunami happens, a big earthquake, shit like that, it's kind of like Mother Nature being like, dude, you guys are packing the planet. Because let's look at the way that this is. In our generation, we probably won't have to deal with it, but there's going to be a problem at one point on this planet of overpopulation where they're going to have to do what China does probably and say, you can only have one baby. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Maybe Mother
You
Nature
can only have one baby and one bowl of bat soup, and that's it.
That's it.
I gotta say though, I obviously, like, people miss going to the gym and all this other shit, but I truly just miss going out for a drink and just eating out somewhere other than my house.
Yeah, and that's something you did a lot too. I mean, that's something you're used to. That's your habit. Yeah. So it's like to not have that, like all of us, all our habits are broken now.
Yeah.
It sucks.
could be worse because I mean, I don't have a problem staying home either.
Yeah, me neither.
It doesn't drive me crazy, but there's some people that they always have to be with people,
Yep.
or they always have to be out and about. Like they need that action. I think some of us are fortunate enough to be like, if we're home alone, we're kind of just like, all right, let's see what's on TV. And
I agree. I'm very okay with being alone, thank God, because I know a lot of people aren't, and I get it. But I'm luckily I'm just hanging with me and Tony.
Yeah,
And that's about it, man.
Did
Jeff,
you-
how about you, bro?
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No good. Jeff.
Oh no, yeah, it's been, you know, I'm kind of all by myself in my apartment, but I thought it was kind of cool because one of the things you guys mentioned, you know, as far as like nature kind of recovering, do you think this would also almost get people closer together? Like I remember reading something a couple of days, like kids are actually riding their bikes out on the street and they're playing, they're not on their phone anymore. Do you think this is going to kind of break down that whole social media being tied to technology as
I would
Justin
say-
is walking around his
I would-
right now?
That's all
I
I
would
thought.
say-
Why?
I would say no. And Exhibit A right here, we're being forced to use the internet. A lot of kids that I know right now are only on their phones and tablets because they really can't go outside as much. I think in that respect, it's mixed. I do think this is going to change the way that we respect what we have, at least for a short period of time. So I think coming out of this, people are going to be a lot more grateful of the fact that they can go to these businesses and places and pay some money and get food and stuff like that. But that'll all drift. Like, that'll all sag away. Let's be honest. We
Well,
remember
there'll be a
9/11.
spike. It'll be a
Yeah.
spike.
It'll spike. I think the question is, how long will people look at this and get like, oh, let's, you know what I mean? I think after a few months, it'll be water under the bridge and business as usual and people treat each other like shit. And unfortunately, that's probably the way it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to sell my place, and that this whole thing put a total wrench in it because
That sucks.
I was riding high like this place is gonna go quick, and then all of a sudden this virus from fucking China comes, and now I can't just immediately get rid of my place like I had planned on. So
That sucks. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it could be worse, but and I'm sure it'll once this is over, I'll be able to do that, but. I just hate how it does put a pause on life. It's kind of
Yes,
like,
it does. Yeah. Superman. Like, everything's like slowed down now.
yeah.
I also want to talk about real quick with this whole thing. Like we talked about the hero side of it, as far as, you know, people on the front lines. We, for the most part, we all work together for the same company. We still keep our jobs. There's tons of people that are losing their jobs and have to file for unemployment. And I think that's going to be the most trying time for those people that have, you know, that work in the food industry, that work in the service, that don't have jobs to go to right now. I think that's what's really going to kind of be hurting and to try to pick back up depending, you know, once this thing blows over. Those are the businesses that are going to be suffering to kind of recover.
Yeah, I was actually, before this Zoom that we're doing here, I was trying to figure out how we could either start a GoFundMe or I at one point was going to be like, hey, everybody, send money to my Venmo. But I know there's no way in hell people are going to be like, yeah, let's send donations to that guy's personal Venmo account. He won't spend it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. We could figure something out. I would love to set something up because Jeff's right. I mean, we're wicked. Us three. Justin, are you still employed right now?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so all of us are lucky right now because everywhere I'm looking, everyone's laid off. I mean, everyone. And you're right, Jeff. Like, that sucks. And once this starts to come together, I hope that everyone starts to help other people out around them who are fucking struggling. Like for instance, I'll be honest. I heard about the stimulus check, which they just said we are getting. We're gonna get $1,200 a piece and whatever details. We're gonna get money. And I thought, man, if I could afford to take this money and help someone else instead, I will. But then I was like, I got bills too. Like, I could use it. But like, I got the wheels turning, and if Joe wants to put something together, I'd be super about like setting up a GoFundMe for some organization locally that like is super needs it, going out of business, or a family that's like totally fucked now, like something like that. I hope that happens with a lot of us. I hope a lot of us come out on top and be like, dude, and help your neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, like I already offered a couple people. I said, hey, if you need some cash, like I'll let you borrow $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, right off the rip. And I hope people do that.
I have a couple of friends that have like a couple of like small restaurants and stuff. I went and I bought $100 gift cards from each of them. So
Just
it's like,
that
hey,
is awesome.
here's the money now. use it to pay your bills. When you open back up, summertime, whatever, like, hey, now I got, cash at hand,
that's
so
a
to
good.
speak.
Let if any of you guys come, like Joe, just keep your eyes peeled. Like now that you know you want to do like something to donate, just keep your eyes open. I'm telling you, like some stuff's gonna stop pouring right at
Yeah.
you, and
I
you're
know-
gonna be like, "Ooh, that's a good idea."
What gave me, I mean, I know all this has been going on and I had the idea to do it just from what's going on, but there was someone who, he doesn't exactly work or do the same job we do, but we see him every day when we go in. And I saw his post and he was basically saying like, it's like, oh, like I'm out of a job. So we're kind of struggling. Luckily my wife is still working, but I kind of was just like, man, what if I was in that position, like not making money and you were,
There's a home.
they have a
You got
family.
a kid.
Yep,
Yeah.
they have a family. They're dependent on this one person's pay.
There you
Like,
go.
imagine if they were both out of work. Like, what would they do if they didn't
Yeah.
have savings or, you know what I mean?
And there are people right down the street, right up the street with that problem, bro. It's fucking nuts. So yeah, like I'd love to help out, man. And I hope that everybody has that feeling and we all help each other get back, you know what I mean? And like doing that with the gift cards, like that's super awesome to just go.
Hero.
Yeah.
Jeff,
You know
I
what
don't
it
want-
is?
I don't wanna
We're
do that.
heroes.
Yeah,
Fuck
you're
you,
a
Justin.
fucking hero, man.
No, I was just
You're a
giving
goddamn
suggestions,
hero.
sir.
Justin,
I would
Don't
say
take
that.
him.
No,
Don't
no,
let him get
no.
under your skin.
I
Justin,
wouldn't
are
say
you, Justin, are
I'm
you sitting
being
near the
serious.
sun right now? You look like you're sitting near the sun.
Joe, if anyone were to say that, it'd be you, right? You're outside in orbit right now.
I'm drinking this cool space fluid. I don't even know what it is.
It's called Tang.
I can't find the right lighting. God damn it! I'm either.
No, fuck you, Justin. Justin doesn't want to give money to anybody. That's why.
You're good. Dude, I'm just being
I'm
picky
not
with
a
your lighting.
hero.
You
I'm
look
the
fine.
only person who's not a hero in North America.
No, you piece
I'm
of
a
shit.
goddamn villain. Look at my red skin, for Christ's sakes.
The Red Skull.
Hey, you know what I wanted to talk about? Speaking of, you mentioned someone's husband and wife. All right, how many divorces are going to come out of this lockdown and
Just from
quarantine?
people driving each other nuts, right?
Because you got fucking
Abuse. A lot of abuse gonna happen.
yeah. So people are talking about all the babies that are going to be born. No, I think it's going to be more like
I agree.
domestic abuse, divorce, fighting. Because let's face it, a lot of, and everyone knows people like this. They fucking hate their wife or they fucking can't stand their husband. And work is their escape from all that shit. Now you're working from home. You're right on top of that motherfucker.
Or you're not working from home. You're forced to be home with nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
Yeah.
Right on top of that motherfucker. Leaving his socks out.
Yep.
Shaving in the sink like you hate, you know?
It's to the point where they just like put a glass down and they're like,
Yeah. You motherfucker.
Yeah.
I told you to clank your glass quietly, you piece of shit.
Did you see how upset people were when they found out schools were only going back on May 5th or May 4th, something like that? There were so many parents posting with, "You've got to be shitting me. I have to tolerate my kid."
Have you met my kid? And he's fucking awful. I can't fucking deal with this little shit. There's a lot of that.
"Oh,
Terrible.
this is a time I'm so thankful I don't have children.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So thankful."
That's why I'm saying, because people are like, oh, there's going to be this baby boom. No. Social
People
media.
aren't gonna be fucking. People are
No.
gonna be, like you said, beating the shit out of each other.
People fucking. Dude, if you know how it is, if there's a crack in your relationship, right? Has anyone ever gone on vacation with a girlfriend?
Nope.
Anyone?
No, actually, no.
Dude, okay. You better be, if you're going on like a 1 week, 2 week trip with a girl, you better be fucking aligned on the
Because
same.
there is no escape. It's
This-
only you and that person for
Exactly.
24 hours a day. Yeah. Then you really try to find. You really find out about your relationship then.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I have a buddy. You guys all know him. I won't say his name. This story is going to be a dead giveaway anyway, but his girlfriend wanted to climb Mount Everest, right?
I already hate her. I already fucking hate her.
She wanted to climb Mount Everest, right? And he's like, all right, I'll go for her, which like, I won't even go to Target for a girl. So like, I give this guy a lot of credit. So their relationship was already kind of on the rocks, no pun intended, because they're climbing the mountain.
Yeah, I get it.
He goes for her. They're climbing the mountain. He gets altitude sickness, which there's not a lot of air on Mount Everest once you start going up there. So he starts getting nauseous, lightheaded. He's having to like crawl up the mountain. And she's like, I'm paraphrasing, but she's essentially like, you fat fuck. Like if you were just in shape, this wouldn't be a problem. I told you before you went on this trip, you should have been working. So So eventually he adapts, she gets altitude sickness, and he's like, well, the tables have turned, you fucking cunt. And needless to say, they didn't make it home as a couple. They broke up before they got home.
Yeah, how they broke up on Mount Everest.
Yeah, they broke. I think they made it down the mountain first and then broke up, which is hilarious.
The mountain got between us.
I was gonna say the relationship reached its peak.
Ah,
Boom. Hey, by the way, just while everyone's just laughing about nonsense, we have probably about 5 minutes, I think. We can just keep going till we get cut off, and then I can start a new session. Or
yeah, let's just do that.
gonna do that. All right.
Literally, as soon as it cuts off, just we'll just come back and
Cool.
make it.
Whatever,
me.
bro. Heroes. Signing off.
Corona edition. What do you want to call it? Corona Mania? Corona
Sure.
edition? Episode Corona?
Sure.
Anyways.
I've done this all without alcohol too. I haven't drank.
Yeah, I'm
You not drinking at all?
drinking coffee right now, like a weirdo.
Dude, speaking of drinking, the last episode we did with Maya,
Yeah.
watching that, Jesus Christ, it's one thing to get drunk, but to watch yourself slowly devolve.
I roll down.
Oh my God!
See, I personally don't think I like you being drunk is actually you just get funnier to me.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah,
it's not sloppy.
it was.
It was great.
I know it made you self-conscious afterwards, but you were fine.
What doesn't make this kid self-conscious, bro? Let's see, bro.
I just felt I devolved into like a just loud, stark raving lunatic.
Lunatic.
No, deep down, Justin is just sensitive. It doesn't seem like he comes off like he's not. He's a sensitive little baby.
Yes.
You were good. You were fine. I'm telling you. It was fun.
That's right. Nurses are heroes.
See?
I love
Diverting.
children.
He doesn't want to touch his feelings.
Love is real.
Yeah.
I'm going to church on
Love
Sunday.
is real.
That's another thing. People's kids. People are realizing for the first time how awful their fucking children are. Kids are terrible. And now their parents are like, Jesus fucking Christ, my kid is an asshole.
This is what the teachers have to deal with all day? This sucks.
Yes, I love it. And I'm sure the teachers fucking love it too, because I was considering becoming a teacher for like a minute. When I came back from traveling, I was a substitute teacher for a year in the elementary schools. And the kids were just fucking absolute monsters. And if you ever went up to a parent and said, hey, your kid's like a fucking psychopath and he's punching the other children or throwing shit, they'll be like, yeah, well, maybe it's your teaching technique. I think you're the problem, teacher.
Wow.
And it's like, oh man. But now that they're stuck with these little monsters at home, all you see on Facebook now is like, Jesus Christ, my kid sucks. So now I think the tables are starting to turn on these little bastards.
These little bastards.
Take that,
it's true.
children.
It's
true,
like
man.
there was an old like a comic in like the Sunday paper saying like the way it was back in the day and the way it is now, and it's the same scene, but one is where the kid's got an F on the paper and the parents are yelling at the kid like, what did you do? And then the current day, it's the kid's still got an F on the paper, but now the parents are yelling at the teacher saying, what did you do?
It's so fucking sad. The only thing I will say is the math that I've seen now is absolute ridiculous.
Common Core?
Yo. You seen that shit, Justin?
saying-
No.
You say math in schools or?
Yeah, you've seen that, Joe, right? Like the way that they do multiplication now?
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's Common Core math where they break it down by the tens place.
Yeah,
and
it
then
sucks, dude. I was already bad at math. Trying to watch a kid do their homework now, I'm like, you got to be shitting
Yeah,
me. Like,
it
pull out
really
the
bothers
calculator.
me. That's the only time I do understand where teachers like there was a video a guy did. He actually brought his kid. He went to go see a parent teacher conference, and he was like, "Bro, I cannot do this math. Like this is so complicated. Fuck off." And it sucks that they're doing that. You know what I mean?
They do it for English too. Like they call English and language arts ELA now. Like for us, we just knew it as English or spelling or whatever. Now it's called ELA, and they even teach you how to sound out the words differently. Like if you're doing,
Is it true that if
you're trying to do cat, like say you're trying to do cat, you'd have to go at cat. Like
So like Sesame Street. Sesame Street.
yeah, you literally have to do it according to syllables now. Like
way
back
you
in the
did that
day,
was
we're just
funny.
like, C makes k, a makes a, t makes t, and then you just put it together. Now it's like It's all messed up, man.
In China, it's even worse. They're like, bat. They
Buh.
bat. That is delicious.
Yeah, there was some hazing going on. I heard too. I heard like people were like coughing and spitting on Asian people randomly in this
That's
country.
fucked up. That's
Yeah,
up.
wicked fuck. Dude. That
Where?
made me-
In America? Or?
in America, yeah. I don't know where. I just heard it. I don't quote me. That's somebody said it. I didn't want to know about it, so I didn't read it.
Yeah.
But apparently this, and I'm not surprised. It's just shitty people everywhere. It's gonna happen. But that's the shitty part of stuff like this.
Yeah.
And because somebody was trying to blame Donald Trump, saying that Trump calling it the Chinese virus may have something to do with people doing that. And I'm like, listen, people are fucked up. People are fucked. Nice background, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Joe. You know, I'm not trying to agree with you and be like, yeah, that's so cool, because I'm looking at Joe's background. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's. I think a lot of it is just the sensitivity of some people and just like the ignorance of some people, because you know, those that can remember even like 9/11, after 9/11, all these like businesses with, you know, like Indian people and stuff were getting hated on. They're like, it's not even the same religion or who's taking. You know, it's a whole.
It's ignorance. It's anger. It's misplaced anger. It's gonna happen. We have a lot of dumb fucking people in this country.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The other thing I want to bring up, not only that, but one of the other major areas that got hit, all professional sports. How do you guys, I mean, I know you guys are big, you know, football, basketball, baseball fans, hockey fans, everything's canceled.
Yeah, that's really all I was watching. Like, you know, I watch a good movie if it's on here and there, but for the most part, it's Celtics games and whatever sports is on. Like, for me, it's all basketball. So now that the whole league is down, that's what I would normally watch. I would just watch basketball.
Yeah, there was in UFC now. We love UFC. It's going to be
another thing.
If they do fight, it'll be in front of nobody, right? That was the last event.
Yeah.
Last event was in front of like what, 20 people or some shit.
It was weird.
It was just the fighters and their corner teams. So it was
strange.
It was very weird because it was just like a dead silent.
And
fight.
Tony Ferguson is supposed to fight Khabib, and I don't want to watch that fight if there's no crowd there. It's
Dude,
just weird.
I know what you're saying, but I want it to go through just because. I don't know if you know this. This is the 5th time that fight has been scheduled. It's been canceled 4 times.
Yeah.
They've been trying to schedule the fight, I believe, since 2014. And either Khabib would get injured or Tony would get injured. So the whole idea behind the fight is it's cursed, right?
Yeah, and it really is, because everyone really wants to see that, because it's the one unorthodox guy that could beat Khabib just because he's so out there and you can't really train for Ferguson.
Right.
Yeah, and he's absolutely fucking nuts. I want to see that fight, and even if it's in front of no audience, I mean, I've been waiting like 6 years to see it.
Right.
So I would watch it. They might do it in Saudi Arabia. Because,
why, they'd be able to do it with a crowd there?
I don't know if they do it with a crowd. I think we're supposed to do it at Madison Square Garden originally, which I believe is in Brooklyn. But,
and that's not going to happen. New York's like fucking totally shut down.
The thing is, the venue canceled on them and said you can't hold the event here. But
understandable.
Dana White he has such a hard on for the fight. He's like, I'm not fucking rescheduling this for the 6th time. We're fucking doing it.
I am curious what the rules are in Saudi Arabia. Like, maybe he's doing that for the reason where there's little restrictions there, or maybe crowds are allowed there.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking crowds might be allowed there.
Yeah.
Somebody's rich enough to get a ticket, but then are we still doing air travel? Sorry, I don't know that, but
I don't think so. I'm not positive.
So.
I think like people who are trying to come home, I would think that they have to come home, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's been a ban, to be honest. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, like I don't know. Can you fly out of the country right now if you want?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
So
because even at TF Green, people coming into TF Green, even from within the United States, my parents are in Florida right now. When they come back, they have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. They go down for the winter. They come back up. The National Guard now is at TF Green, stopping every passenger that comes through, taking their name and making sure they stay quarantined at home.
Which they're never going to know if they are or not. But all right.
Like that's they're trying to control.
When are they coming back, Jeff?
They were supposed to come back the first week of April, but we don't even know if the flights, I know even like Alaska Air canceled like 70% of their flights right now. So it's like, I think they're trying to control who's moving around the country.
I think everyone should stay with it put, but dude, that must suck if like right before this you went overseas for whatever reason, and now you can't come home. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine going on a trip, you don't have enough clothes, you don't have your family with you. Maybe it was a business trip, and now you're stuck in like fucking God knows where for how long. I feel for that. That if that's a situation.
Oh yeah, that's the worst because you're in another country and like
Scary.
where can you lock yourself down? Like it's not your home. You're
I
just
know.
staying in your hotel room. Like
And nobody went. And hotels are shutting down too.
yeah.
I mean, a girl that lives right over here. She works for a hotel, like booking. She got laid off. Nobody's
crazy.
booking hotel rooms.
I've known a couple of people in the last few weeks have gone to the hospital and they can't even have visitors. So it's like you get sick or you need just even a basic procedure done. You get 0 visitors. So you have to just go to the hospital alone.
Yeah, that's a good point, Joe. What about people during this time that are getting sick for some other reason? They have cancer, they get hurt.
No
No
visitors.
one's talking about that. And yeah, no visitors. And what if they try to go to the hospital and they're like, listen, all these fucking beds are for corona patients, dude. Sorry, take your broken leg somewhere else.
That's why they're doing this whole stay-at-home thing. They're trying to flatten the curve so all these people don't get sick and go to the hospital, so the hospital can deal with all this
And I
at
get
a
it,
reasonable
yeah.
rate.
I'm on board with the stay home thing, dude, just to settle this all down for sure.
Yeah. There's always going to be those stupid people though that are hopping around and hanging out at whoever's house. It's like you could be carrying this to all these different places.
Exactly, man. People need to think like it's not about you. It's just about the people you could infect. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up.
Hopefully, to your point though, too, it also brings about that rationale, not just this, but moving forward. Like, how do my actions affect other people, not just me?
Yep, that's
like
true.
it's not just this virus. Moving forward, everything you do, people tend to be a little bit more self-centered. So imagine this, like going through something like this might help, kind of eliminate a lot of that self-centeredness and almost make them like aware of other people's feelings and positions in life,
I really hope so, man. I hope a lot of when this is over, we all come out a little bit better. But I always see shit like this happen and it fade. You know what I mean? We come out of this big, terrible thing and we all have a short memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, even Kobe passing away, right? That fucked me up, fucked a lot of people up.
Isn't it crazy? Everyone was just like, they don't even remember it now.
It's crazy how the world works like that, man. We all have short memories. And I don't know if it's because the way that our lifestyle is now, we move so quick that like we get over things quicker. But like, I know me personally, I have a short memory all the time. Like, and with something like this, I'm not gonna lie, after like 3 months, I will fucking forget about it. It'll be business as usual. And I'll try not to, but it's the way the world works, bro.
With something like this, though, you're going to remember it and how it basically made you a prisoner in your home. And you're going to be like, holy shit, remember that? I would not want to do that again. That's how you remember it.
No, you're right.
And then you can tell like the younger generation stories of, I remember when I was locked in my home for 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we will. Yeah. Where they locked us all down.
Yeah, like all old people, like our parents, I don't even want to say old people. That's such an insult. Our parents always talk about shit like the blizzard of 78?
Yeah.
78.
78. So now we have a story now. Like, do you kids remember COVID-19?
I know. I hear about the blizzard of 78, and I kind of like, damn, I wish I could have, because they were literally locked down for weeks, right? Because they couldn't go anywhere because
They were
they couldn't get anywhere.
They were actually buried.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like over 10 feet of snow or something crazy like that.
Yeah, they had their own lockdown.
Guys, what about the side pieces? That's what people are forgetting about during this tragedy.
Say that again.
People,
you broke up.
Am I breaking up?
A little bit. Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah.
I said, what about? All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. There's a forgotten people, right?
I can see up your nose, bro. Just back up a little bit, dude.
There's a forgotten group of people during all this tragedy, and it is the side pieces, right? Because how many people out there are cheating on their wives or their husbands or their girlfriends or their boyfriends? You got to go out to meet your side piece, right? Now, as we were saying earlier, the husbands and the wives, the boyfriends, the girlfriends, they're all locked down at home. What about these poor side pieces? people are forgetting about them. And if we're going to offer aid to anyone here at Whatever Brother, I think we should.
Whatever,
Justin,
brother.
I gotta be honest, it's a bad take, man. Bad take.
Come on, man.
And we're back. Boom. We ready? We good?
Good.
We're waiting on Lady Justin. I think he's doing drugs and alcohol.
No, Justin's crying because of his shitty joke he just made before we got cut off.
Who's the one? Who would have thought that it would have been Justin and not me that made the worst joke?
he definitely got worst joke in this episode so far. How about the side pieces? What about the side? Like, what are you talking about?
Let's give donations to the side pieces.
I knew he was gonna be late coming back on here, dude.
He actually
All right.
He did great today when we were testing it out. Like, I was
Impressive.
shocked at how quickly he got it.
Oh shit! I was impressed he even made it on here.
This guy has difficulty sharing our podcast. I thought he was doomed for Zoom.
The timer is going.
Cool.
That noise you heard, I have a ringtone of 40-year-old virgin. Is it true? If you don't use it, you lose it. So that's what goes off when my timer goes off.
Classic
Nice.
Jeff ringtone.
I thought it's appropriate for the podcast. Like, if we don't use the time, we lose it.
There he
That's
is.
right. Yeah, you're right. Justin, guy, where you at?
He's back. He is back. Connecting with audio, and he's on.
And we're back. All
And
right.
we're back. You know what's
Justin,
great
I
about
was-
this? I can mute you guys. If you guys like talking bullshit, I can mute.
You Justin, after that shitty joke about side pieces.
That was not a joke, sir. I was dead serious.
Good joke, Justin. Justin, keep talking for a second.
Think about the poor cheater.
Oh, I'm
you got
sorry. I
muted,
just-
sucker.
He's back. He's back.
Okay.
Dude, this is like, remember Around the Horn on ESPN?
Yeah.
Yes.
When people were talking shit, he was like, mute.
Dude, so if this goes well, people like it, we can just sell our equipment and do it here.
No, I think we definitely have to do it in studio as much as possible,
Yes, 'cause we
post-virus.
bought all that stuff. We have to do it.
Well, no, and guests too. I mean, we don't want to have to
No, of
explain Zoom to all our random
No, of
guests.
course not. I just want to get a bigger table, and then I'm going to be super happy.
Oh yeah,
One thing
totally.
we need.
Dude,
bigger
that studio is hot.
It is fucking dope. People come down there, and they're like, damn, this is like everybody. Yeah, we have a good studio. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
at an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Oh, Scotty, I'm surprised this didn't come up sooner. You had a little incident at the park with your teeth, didn't you?
Yeah, it came up. Justin asked me.
Oh, we talked about it.
Oh, we did.
I can. If you want to hear it, I can. Yeah, I can definitely.
Let's hear the story, Scott.
The
All right,
story.
this is
The story.
Story time.
This is the God's honest truth about what happened to my teeth. This is the God's honest story. I went down to BCC to do pull-ups because
Show your teeth too, so everybody wants to see. Yep.
I went down to do pull-ups because the gym wasn't closed yet, but I just was trying to take this real seriously. I didn't want to go around the gym. Definitely not. I go down there, bro. You've been down to BCC, Joe? Have you ever seen the pull-up
Yeah.
bars down there? All right. I remember them. I didn't know. They have good pull-up bars, but one bar was like right here, and I never saw it. Like it blended in with the grass. So I went to go do push-ups. I did a set of pull-ups. I went to go do push-ups, and I was on my phone getting a song, and I wasn't looking. I banged my head against the pull-up bar, and I don't know how I did it, but I guess I just bit down and cracked this tooth that's been cracked 4 times.
You bit down on the pole or your own teeth?
No, my pole hit my head.
Oh.
And the next thing, here's the thing, I kind of I didn't black out, but I got so dazed, I just went like this, hit it, and next thing I knew, I could feel my tooth in my mouth. So
So you didn't actually like chip that on the pole. You chipped it on your own mouth.
as far as I know, yep.
Crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, and I had a bump right here, so it definitely was from that. And this tooth is always getting chipped. And now the dentist, I talked to the actual dentist himself, and he was like, "Can't do it, like emergencies only." And I was like, "All right, now I'm thinking about keeping it. I mean, I'm so used to it. I might just fucking knock them all out."
That's great.
But yeah, so basically I just tried to go and safely do some pull-ups and managed to fuck myself up because Joe, as you know, this is just who I am. I can't walk around without rolling my ankles. I can't go do pull-ups without banging my head.
You've
It's just the way I
had
am.
a lot of incidents with just your teeth alone.
Yeah, I mean, they're fake to begin with because I knocked them out on a metal bench when I was 10. And I'm used to not having teeth.
There's nothing worse that when you injure yourself trying to improve your health. That's the fucking worst. Because that happened to me recently with my shoulder. I was just I fucked it up doing bench press, and then I was like throwing a ball around, and I jacked my shoulder.
Jesus.
And now I can't fucking use my right arm to lift anything.
Yeah,
And it's the most depressing thing. You hurt yourself trying to work out or get some exercise.
I know, that was the worst part. Like, I was trying to do something good, and God was like, nah.
Scott, not to get you in trouble or anything, but I think people aren't supposed to go to parks.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, I could call the authorities.
Just the fuck up. No, I'm there by myself. If anybody else was, I wiped the.
Yeah, no, that's cool, Scotty. Anyways, guys,
dude, I
that is a fun button.
Am I still muted?
No,
Oh.
you're good.
Dude, I was talking and I just saw you unmuted by the host. I'm like, bitch. Wow, that hurts.
Yeah, that's a good story, Scott. Anyways, guys, that's good.
I'm trying to mute you and I can't.
I'm the host, son. I'm the Bob Barker.
But yeah, man, I'm there by myself. I wiped it down. I was alone. I was safe.
Yeah, I haven't had any household accidents yet, or luckily.
Do you
Like,
have a
could you
theory?
imagine if something serious happened? And I know somebody, I forgot who the hell told me. They said they fell down the stairs at home. And somebody we work with. He said, I went to the park to bike, and then when I got home, I walked down my stairs and I messed up my ankle. It's like,
Is he 87 years old?
no, he's like my age. But he was like, yeah, so I can't go biking anymore because I rolled my ankle. I was like, what, biking? He's like, no, I tripped on the stairs and fell down my stairs at home.
His name's Scott Medeiros.
That's the worst though. Like, you're locked in your home and you still hurt yourself.
I know, dude. Shit, I was gonna ask something and I forgot what it was.
Yeah,
You know, it's a funny phenomenon. If you trip and fall in front of a member of the opposite sex, I don't know why, but that automatically, like, you just lost all your chances of getting laid that night with that person.
tripping
Yeah.
is the least sexy thing you can do in front of a girl.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
woman's looking for a man to take care of her and be humble and strong, not falling down a flight of stairs.
Terrible. Jeff,
Yeah, well, what about if you flip it, right? Like, what if because this happened to me one time. A girl I was talking to, it was like a backyard party. She came walking over all sexy, but then tripped over her heels and just fucking face planted. And
Now you're in the driver's seat. Now you can.
I laughed. First of all, I laughed really hard, and I still had sexual intercourse with her. It didn't bother. It was humorous, but it didn't stop me from.
It's different on the other way around.
Yeah.
You could have said, well, I guess you've really fallen for me.
That's why Jeff wouldn't have gotten laid.
that is the new worst joke of the day right there.
Come on, really?
But you know, there's a lot of things like that. I guess you'd call it like a gender bias or like a sex bias. For example, a dude falls, especially dude Scott, right? He fell down the stairs, and that was a
I
wrap.
didn't. It wasn't really me.
Yeah. But I can't believe we forgot about that when talking about falling. But
Oh my
Scott,
God,
I did.
yeah.
Oh, when
Yes.
I fell down that girl's stairs. Yeah.
Scott fell down a lovely gal's stairs, and that was it. Right there, you were done.
Never saw her again.
You never fucking.
Scott got too drunk and stoned and fell down the
And
stairs.
he fell down a girl's stairs. And,
To the
and
point
after,
where you're right. She looked at me, like, watched me tumble and
Mhm.
saw me, like, fall at the end and just
Yeah.
be like, I'm never seeing him again. Loser.
Yeah,
Can't even
kid,
handle his weed.
that kid fell down the stairs. No way I'm seeing him again.
Right. But now,
He
Scott.
took one hit off my weed and fell down my stairs. Fucking, I'm not touching his dick.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she's doing like bong rips. She's totally unaffected.
She was fine. Yeah.
But Scott, reverse that scenario. She falls down the stairs, that's not like. There's no way that you're saying, "All right, that does it. I'm out of here."
For me, it's actually increased. It's like now I'm in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
takes the
Now-
pressure off.
Yeah, now I'm definitely getting laid. She fell down. I don't give a fuck. I'm still turned on by her. She still has a great ass.
It's like,
Doesn't matter.
she's a clumsy little bitch. I got a good shot now.
Yeah. If anything, I'm turned on more.
Because at that point, the girl falls down the stairs. Now she's even more.
Wait, is she unconscious?
She's even more confused. I was gonna say. So.
If she's unconscious, I'm definitely hit.
I'm signing off. I'm signing off. I'm signing off.
That's a rape joke, Justin.
This is the Me Too age, Scotty.
Yeah,
For Christ's sake.
the guy who wanted donations for side pieces.
Yeah, right.
They are a victimized group.
The video didn't cut off because of 20 minutes. It cut off because your joke was so terrible that Zoom couldn't even handle it. Just
What
Zoom was
joke?
like, nope.
What joke? I am a hero, sir. A serious hero that's trying to raise money for the less fortunate. These poor side pieces.
Hey,
What are they
don't
doing
you don't you guys like people putting those filters on their profile picture? Stay home.
Stay inside.
I
Hey,
did it.
guys, wash your hands.
I
Wash
did
your
it.
hands.
Scott
Hey.
did it.
I did it. And, and it's pink. Stay home, motherfucker.
Oh man. Oh,
Hey,
man.
yours says stay the fuck home.
Yes, stay the fuck home.
Scotty, you're a hero.
Thank
You
you.
fucking
Thank
hero.
You.
You're a real
I
fucking
recognize
hero,
what I'm
Scott. You
doing
know
for this
that?
world. I'm just
Yeah.
out here trying to help everyone, Justin.
These nurses don't have shit on Scotty.
You know
All
what?
right.
I'm changing my profile picture to the banner that says like "Go Nurses." Nurses are the heroes.
Dude, all right. So back to these gender biases. All right, we already looked at one. A dude cannot fall in front of a woman and still get laid.
Right.
Second thing, you lose your job, right? And you try to, spit game to a girl. She's like, "What do you do?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm unemployed." How fast do your chances drop?
That's the biggest
Oh
one.
God, yeah.
Dude,
Matter of fact, if you look at Tinder profiles of girls, a lot of them say you must have a car and must have a job. I'm sick because so many
Oh,
guys
man.
don't have a job or their car's in the shop.
yeah. Now flip it. Again, let's flip it. A girl comes up to you. What do? I just got fired, or I'm a cocktail waitress, whatever. Guy's like, "Yeah, great. I don't give a shit."
Dude,
Yeah.
I've had dated girls and fucked them endless times and never even knew where they worked. Never mattered.
Right.
Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
Gender different, man.
I for sure have dated unemployed women, and I didn't care at all.
No, I think it goes back to like what turns people on. What turns men on is the way you look, the way your hair is, the way your ass looks, shit like that. The things that turn women on,
Money,
some different
and
shit.
that's it. Money, period.
Yeah.
No other attribute.
They're
Just
into different
money.
things, man.
Money,
Just
money,
fucking
money.
cold hard cash.
And they like sensitive men. That's why you got to be a little more sensitive. You know what I mean? And change
Doesn't
your
work.
profile picture. Make sure it's pink.
I don't think they do like sensitive men.
No, they don't like you.
No,
'Cause
I think
you hide your sensitivity, Justin.
I'm
we
not.
need to make custom filters, like making us the hero somehow.
Yeah, I know, whatever. Bro.
I can't figure out how we would do that, but I was actually trying to find out for years how to create a custom profile filter, like presidential candidates and mayoral candidates. They'll create like Paul Coogan had one and Jazel had one that said, vote on November whatever for me,
Yeah.
and you could put that as your profile pic.
I think you have to pay for it. If I had to guess,
Probably.
you have to pay for it. And then you submit it to Facebook because Facebook, you can only do it if Facebook provides you with it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So you probably have to pay for it.
Jeff, do that background thing. It almost looked like you were wearing a mask before.
Yeah, so because I don't have a green screen, so it's super weird. I was trying to
It is.
I was trying to do the whole promote my podcast, and it's like, oh, look. Doesn't work though.
Bad start.
I like it. I just want him to have like crap all over him.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
No problem.
Appreciate it, buddy.
I got to refill my water soon, guys.
I'm trying to think of like an additional gender bias here. So you can't fall in front of a woman.
Yep.
You can't be unemployed. And I think another one is like you can't be a sissy. right? You can't be a wimp.
Yeah,
know?
you got to be like a manly man. Oh, you
You
know
gotta be-
what? Mr. Fix-Its. Girls
Yeah.
fucking look down upon anyone who's not a Mr. Fix-It.
You gotta fix shit, and every once in a while you gotta punch some fucking schmuck in the nose.
Yep, that's
Right?
right. I bought a bunch of tools just so girls would think that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, well, this is a monkey wrench screw Phillips head 1/8 right here. So,
Dude, I have a bunch of friends, and all of us do. We all have the Mr. Fix-It guys, and I'll watch them like fix something legitimate and just be like, I don't know, this guy must have gone to school for 15 years to learn this.
yo, it's like magic to me.
But if they tried to do certain things that we have to do, they'd kind of be
Like
like
comedy?
Huh?
Well, that's actually a discussion I actually had earlier this morning. Is a friend of mine is complaining like, oh, everybody's complaining about the whole tuition and how like it's insane, and he's like, we need to have more people learn trades because that's what's going to be, there's nobody that knows trades anymore. And I said, that's true to an extent. Yes, like, could I go and do my own electrical work in my house? No, not really. But guess what? There's going to be certain people that are going to be learning that you're not familiar with, whether it be technology or science or whatnot, that are going to help start creating cures for all these diseases and COVID-19 and everything moving toward the future. It's going to be a whole different dichotomy. It's a different skill set than what people, from a trade perspective. Everybody needs to have their kind of walk in life, so to speak. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we'll let's be honest, we'll never run out of electricians and plumbers and Mr. Fix-It guys because people like that are just born good with fixing shit. You know what I mean? Like, and they'll figure that out when they're young, and that's not going to go away. That's not going to phase out, I don't think.
right.
So yeah, gender bias, those are the best. And they're different. They're different obviously for men and women.
So let's flip it again. You wouldn't want like a tough chick, like laying dudes out or even other women out. Or you wouldn't want to date a chick that's like, oh, the toilet's broken, and then she's like, oh, I'll fix it, because you would feel completely emasculated if that was the case.
Exactly. Like if you were dating a Mrs. Fix-It, you'd be
Dude,
like,
imagine that. You'd feel like such a fucking loser if you didn't know how to do anything. And
No,
she's like,
I want that. I want my girl to fix cars.
No.
And I come outside and I'm like, who wants muffins?
dude, guys like
outside in the
us.
bathrobe.
Guys like us, when we actually fix something, we're so fucking proud of ourselves.
Dude.
Like we pat ourselves on the back.
I put my windshield wipers on today. I was fucking psyched.
That's a big one.
Psyched,
That's a big
man.
one.
Yeah.
No,
That
I
was
want my
huge for
girl
me.
changing my oil outside. Be like, yeah, babe, she's just redoing the carbs. I'm cooking dinner. That's how our relationship works.
Oh, there's always
you
exceptions
say-
to the rule. There's exceptions for like Ronda Rousey, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too tough.
Tough ass chick. She goes hunting,
Too
and
tough.
she's hot as hell.
I think I would have a softie because I'd be so fucking concerned that I'm not going to satisfy this beast of a woman. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even be able to get a boner. That's
Dude,
what I-
absolutely.
absolutely. And she's so hot, and I
You know-
hate her too.
I don't like Ronda Rousey. She's a poor sport.
Yeah,
but still.
she's a total bitch, man. Like
Yeah.
they tried to. She was interviewed once, and because the question wasn't WWE related, she got so fucking pissed. Like, but went in total bitch mode. Like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, people know you for being an ultimate fighter and
Yeah.
disappearing off the face of the planet. The minute you faced a striker, you got whooped. And like, obviously, she's one of the best, and she's one of the most popular, and she did so much for the sport. But she gets upset when she's asked about stuff that in her past, like, gave her some pain.
Well, she was ultimately a poor sport and an asshole. Even if she won, she was a sore winner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember the fight between her and Misha Tate, she beat Misha Tate.
Still
Misha
talks shit.
Tate extended her hand afterwards for a handshake. Rousey refused the handshake.
She's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yep.
She always has been.
Ronda Rousey's an asshole, yeah.
Yep.
So-
But I would want to skull fuck her though, like hard. Yeah.
And dude, just to bring up something similar, Holly Holm, before she fought her, she hated Holly Holm. She got in at the face-offs, got in Holly's face and tried to put her fist like in her jaw during the face-off.
Yeah.
And Holly Holm is the sweetest girl. Her nickname
humble.
is the preacher's daughter.
Preacher's daughter.
Super
I love
humble,
Holly
too.
Holm. I
Super
fucking love
humble.
Holly Holm.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm so glad she head kicked Ronda.
Oh, that
And
was
it-
satisfying.
So satisfying.
So
That
satisfying.
was
'cause
very
it's like,
satisfying.
and that happens. I feel like that happens in like 80% of the bouts. the one who does the shit talking or doesn't touch
Rarely
gloves
does it work.
end up losing or getting knocked out, and I love that.
Connor is one of the few who talks his shit and wins, but he's actually hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really count.
Who is that? Who are you talking about, Scott?
Connor.
Oh, McGregor. Yeah. What I like about McGregor, though, is he talks so much shit to sell the fight.
But after the fight, he will
win or lose.
Yep.
Win or lose. After the fight, win or lose, he's like, he said, I'm humble in victory and I'm humble in defeat.
He really is.
And he totally is, yeah.
You can't respect that guy.
With every loss, he's like, and there have been locker room scenes like right after he's lost, and whether it's the boxing match or losing to Nate or losing to Khabib, he'll openly say like, I lost. Like, he caught me sleeping.
Yeah.
Like when Nate tapped him out, like rear naked choke, he didn't make an excuse. He was just like, this is a tough one. I lost. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's how you have to be. You can't be like, a lot of these guys are like, oh, I didn't tap, like when they obviously tapped. Yeah. Like they're trying to think of something in their head that will justify them losing.
Yep.
Like the last one was what's his name? He ended up tapping, and then the match was over. And Kevin Lee. He ended up complaining that he hadn't tapped.
I think he may have been
unconscious,
confused due to lack of blood flow to the brain.
Maybe
he was getting choked pretty substantially. That cuts off the blood flow to the brain. So I think he might have kind of like maybe went out semi-unconscious and then kind of came to and was like, what? I'm still fighting. What are you talking about?
That kind of happened with Robbie Lawler too. Remember that? Where he kind of like just his arm drooped. And then second later, he was fine.
Right. And if you look at that fight, you can tell Robbie Lawler really doesn't think that he went out. He's like, I was fine the whole time.
He had no idea. Yeah, he wasn't lying. He just believed it.
Right.
That one's up for debate. I honestly thought, I mean, when we watched live, I think we all thought his hand just dropped lifeless.
He went out. He went out for sure.
Yeah, and he denies it a little. I don't like that, or maybe
he might not even. I don't know. He might not even believe that he went out. That's why he might.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He didn't go out. In his mind, his memory, he didn't go out.
Maybe he was so embarrassed to lose to Ben Askren that he was like, I got to think of an excuse. I have to.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, God. So, guys, it's the weekend. What are you guys going to do? Stay home?
I'm going to the basement this weekend. Woo-hoo!
Go to the grass.
My buddy just sent me a link to, it's like a digital party where I guess I didn't really read about it thoroughly, but I guess you party in your own living room, but you live stream. So everyone's live streaming themselves kind of dancing around and partying.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I can't get behind that because
if it's like noisy and fucking loud and not really entertaining, I guess it is pointless. But
I'd have to see how it is because I'm such a bad dancer as it is. If I'm gonna dance, I like to go to a nice dank place and hide a nice dark dank dance hall, and I hide in the middle of everyone else dancing so no one can see me. The last thing I want to do is be on camera fucking dancing, you know?
Me and Jeff are having a moment right now because he knows what I'm doing.
I absolutely.
What are you doing? Scott's taking a shit.
He's taking a dump.
No, I'm not.
Scott's taking
I'm not. I swear to God. I'm pissing sitting down.
Oh, your boy.
For some reason, I'm not surprised.
Get him some
girls like that, right?
juice.
Hey, wash your hands.
Girls like that.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
you know what?
No, I didn't touch my wiener.
That's another gender biased. Girls don't like guys that sit down when they pee.
No.
But to be fair, I don't think guys wouldn't like girls that stand up when they pee.
This is true.
No. I didn't have to wash my hands though. I never touched my wiener.
Dude, Zoom flagged me because they caught some of your dick in the picture.
Oh.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, another getting back to gender biases. You don't want to date a girl that's tougher than you. Like you don't want to date a girl that can beat you in a fight.
Yeah.
No.
Because if things get to that point, you're arguing. You'll say you're dating Ronda Rousey. You get into some argument, she fucking hip tosses you and arm bars you. You might as well just tuck your dick in between your legs and just walk around
No,
like that for the
you
rest of
do
your
everything you can to
relationship.
survive. You break the wine glass and you start stabbing her because you do not let a girl beat you up. Can't happen. Cannot happen.
That's great.
Yeah. Well,
When do you guys think we'll actually be able to do a studio podcast like safely?
well, we could
Yeah.
really, in theory, do it at any time because we all appear healthy, but we'd probably get a lot of shit for it.
Well, we would also be our current table. We would be very close to each other.
Yeah. That's true.
So
We do need a bigger table.
I don't trust you guys. All you guys probably.
No, we'll
have
just
this.
Zoom it. We'll Zoom it until this shit's over. And I really hope I hope you're right, Joe. I hope May is like the furthest. Like, I hope May is when this is done.
Yep, I could tolerate another month.
If I have to, I will.
But it has to, by May, man, that has to be over. And what I was thinking about too is like, what's going to happen with kids who are missing school? Are they going to be in school until July, or are they
That's a
just
good
going to cut
question.
the season short?
They're doing they're doing the lessons from home, so I think they're still like on track.
Some are, but some aren't. And then some aren't doing it fully. Jeff, you know about this?
No, I was going to say, I think, I forget what the protocol is, but I think it's up until a certain point in June. They can't go past a certain date in June for school. So if it turns around by that point, it would be up until that point, but they can't go past. They won't be able to go into July. They won't be able to do anything like that.
They might have to just miss it.
And Jeff knows that because he's got a van right by the local elementary school, so he's getting all the hot gossip.
Right.
From the playground.
Well, I have to be at least like 500 feet away now. So
Court ordered, court mandated distance.
no, I'm actually friends with somebody that teaches at a local high school, and that's what she told me. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about the virus to where I did hear like the problem with it is it sticks around. Like say you goes on a doorknob, it can stay alive for a while.
Yeah.
I worry about one thing is like, when do we know it's gone completely? Because like all it takes is one person to right.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. It'll probably never be gone completely because you've heard of the bubonic plague, for example, aka the Black Death.
Yeah.
This was so in the 1300s, the bubonic plague killed about 200 million people, which is crazy in itself. But at the time, the whole population of the world was only 500 million people. So
Jesus. So it killed almost half the planet?
Almost half of the population of the world was killed by the bubonic plague.
That's
right?
crazy.
This outbreak happened in the 1300s. It was a global outbreak. The only places that were spared were islands. The bubonic plague still exists today. And every once in a while, someone will catch it. It mainly exists in rodents, squirrels, chipmunks, rats. Every once in a while, someone will get it, but now we have a cure for it because I think it's primarily a bacterial disease.
I feel like corona will be less prevalent than the flu. I still think it'll be like the regular flu. Like once it's winter, I still think a bunch of people will get it. I don't think it'll be the numbers like they are right now.
No, and I do think they will within 2 years probably have a vaccine. Am I correct?
There's a lot of talk about potential medications for it, but it's all kind of there hasn't been enough testing done yet.
Right. I think you're right, Justin. I think that this is never going to fully go away. It's always going to kind of be around. I think the question will be, do they get a medicine in place that can help it, and then ultimately a vaccine or cure to prevent you from dying from it?
All the vaccine is injecting you with a little bit of the actual disease itself or virus itself.
So your body,
a previous strain of it.
So I don't know if they haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Yeah, something tells me it's not that easy.
No. Don't you wish there was just a cure? Like, let's give this person this medicine, but there's no like meds you can take for a flu.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, so coronavirus is like a general term because I think somebody even said like, if you look at like Lysol wipes, it says it disinfects coronavirus.
Yep.
The reason it's calling it COVID-19 is because this is a mutation off of the coronavirus that hasn't been seen before. So it's a little bit more easier spread and whatnot. And it's a little bit more fast acting. So to your point, I think we'll eventually have a vaccine similar to the way we get like a flu shot, but it's not going to prevent you from getting it. It's going to just help you fight it off or prevent you.
Whatever. That's
It's
good.
not 100% guaranteed.
Now, one question I did have, because somebody mentioned this to me and I thought it made no sense. This is not something that's like the chicken pox, right? You just get it once and then you're all good.
I think that's still,
Well,
I think it's still out there. Like they say, like once you get it, I think you can have the antibodies or whatever. I forget the terminology, but
Chicken
like
pox is actually herpes.
right.
Joe knows the thing
I know,
about herpes.
Well,
Joe.
wait a second. I had the shingles. Okay, that's like
Right.
adult chicken pox.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Scott was saying, you get chicken pox, you're done. Not so fast. You get chicken pox, it can reemerge, as Joe knows, as shingles later on.
Yep.
So that virus stays in your system.
But all right, my question is though, if you get it once, is it true that it's very hard to get it again, or is that
They
just
think so.
Yeah.
They currently
Okay.
think that that's the case.
Okay.
That
And
you won't
that's
have a
the
reemergence.
that's the underlying problem is that this hasn't been around long enough for us to know everything about it. Look at
Right.
you even look at the way the symptoms have changed in the last 2 weeks that we've been home, pretty much. Like they were saying, oh, it's dry cough, it's a fever, and it's body aches, and now they're saying, oh, it's you lose your sense of smell for some cases. Other people get runny nose.
It's a fucking bad flu.
Yeah, but they don't know. That's what I'm saying. They don't know how to differentiate between the flu and this,
Yeah.
and that's where it's kind of difficult.
This one's a little scary because of it involves your breathing. Like it just attacks your
Yeah.
respiratory system.
Exactly.
Like fevers, people get fevers and you can take things to reduce a fever, but even fevers are scary. But what scares me
breathing,
is
like, you need to-
respiratory.
Yeah, like to combat this, you need to be on a breathing tube, like a
A respirator.
respirator.
Yeah.
Dude, have you what's really fucking terrifying? Have you guys seen footage from places like northern Italy where that's
No.
fucking dude, that's
I'm
fucking
scared.
scary. These are places that they got hit before us a couple weeks, and they were like the US, they were kind of dicking around and they didn't really put precautions or shelter in place, and then it hit. They didn't really take it seriously. And so many people got sick at once, everyone went to the hospital, but there wasn't enough respirators.
They were like choosing which people to save, right? I heard.
Yeah, man. There was doc.
No, I
Like,
think
yeah,
it's
I had to decide, like, all right, I got a 70-year-old guy, and I got a 40-year-old guy. I got to pick the 40-year-old guy, and I had to let the old guy die because there wasn't enough equipment to keep him alive. And on top of that, like, you had hospital staff getting sick. You had hospital staff dying. So, yeah, it's in a place like Italy or Iran also, where like they were just caught totally unawares and they didn't take it seriously. It's like a Stephen King story. It is like a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? I found something. I was reading this random article, and the vacuum company Dyson, they're actually set to make 15,000 ventilators. Like this vacuum company.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which is crazy. And now like Trump is demanding that GM, the motor company, create ventilators. I didn't know that these manufacturers just could easily manufacture these ventilators out of the blue.
Why would they not if you can? I don't
Well,
get it.
it's like I think right, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, I'm not by no means a historian, but Fall River in and of itself, they used the mills and whatnot during the wars and stuff to start producing, ammunition or munitions or supplies for the war. I forgot what they were doing, but I wasn't sure if it was World War II. I'm totally like mistaken about that, but I know we used the mills in Fall River to help.
Well, if there's
provide
any company
supplies.
that can make what hospitals fucking need right now, which is like, you've seen some hospitals, some nurses are wearing like fucking bullshit just to cover their face. I mean, no brainer, especially big corporations that make billions of dollars. Like, dude, that help us out.
A lot of people involved with fabrics, companies like that are creating masks of their own.
Excellent.
These masks probably aren't the same as like those official ones, but they're close enough to the point where you have your face covered.
Any little bit helps at this point.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked at the Dyson making ventilators and now GM being asked to make them. It's like I understand what they're capable of and they make these machines, but they're medical machines. They're different from what they normally manufacture. But it's crazy how easy that they can just get a blueprint and create or
Fucking smart
manufacture ventilators out of the blue. It's crazy.
This whole thing has really gone to show how fragile all of society is.
Yeah.
You know, like what? Again, one guy ate a bat on the other side of the planet, and now, I mean, how many? I think it's like 20,000 people are dead. I might be fucking that up. I think it's close to 20,000 people are dead.
Yeah. Your
globally.
just so you know, your feed is slightly delayed. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, move your PC a little bit. Move your laptop a little bit, just somewhere else. There you go.
that'll fix it.
You never know.
I feel like I just keep getting shinier. What's
You're
going
good though.
on?
I can hear you, but the video occasionally is delayed.
It's the corona, bro.
But like you were saying, it's so easy for society to just collapse.
Just
And now, like, we have the benefit though of having technology, at least. Like there's something called a fire sale, where like if you're a hacker and you're good enough, you can take over the internet, you can take over public utilities, everything that's run on technology, basically, or electricity. So like that would be the opposite spectrum. Like right now we're dealing with a virus, which is it's biological. But if there was an actual fire sale and someone took over the internet, that would be a whole different kind of chaos.
You've been watching Live Free or Die Hard, haven't
I
you?
have, dude. I just thought of it randomly when he said, like, look how easy it is for something to go terribly wrong in our society. Yeah. Like that would be kind of the opposite end of things.
Well, I think that's how wars are going to be fought in the future. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, we're going to bomb you. It's like, no, we're going to take over your technology. We're going to cripple your banks. We're going to cripple the stock market. That's where it's going to be.
That's the one thing I hate about all this is the whole world saw how we can all get our knees chopped out so easily. And that's what kind of sucks is like terrorist groups. This is just like, dude, look how easy this was. They're just going to get more ideas. I hope this makes us better defensively, I guess.
Well, and not even like from like terrorist groups. You want to take a look at some of this, like what I like to call the dregs of society, the people that are just like scumbags that are using this pandemic now to steal people's like social security. Like there's text messages going out about saying, oh, here's the stimulus package. Click on this link and put in your bank information. Yep. Well, and it's just people taking advantage, and it's
that'll always be there because unfortunately there is evil in this world. Mm-hmm. So it'll always be there, which sucks.
Mm-hmm. Now let me ask you this. This is kind of a philosophical question. Do you think that's evil, or do you think that's nature? For example, you look into nature, right? You've got predators and you've got prey. There's always the hungry coyote just waiting for a weak rabbit or maybe a baby deer or fawn to start slipping, and it moves in. Are those people just a product of nature? Something weak to move in on?
You make a really good case, and I would tend to agree with you because I personally I'm not a big religious person, as most people know, and that makes a lot more sense to me is there are just people on this planet that are that are hunters and they prey on the weak, and that's just how their DNA is, it seems.
But I think from the other side of that, though, you talk about human beings as far as having like the psychological aspect and ethics and morals, where the animal world doesn't really have that. So it's kind of like.
But some people don't tap into it, Jeff.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
I do believe that's what makes us stand out from the rest of the planet is that we have. You know what? I heard an interesting fact that was like super interesting to me. We're the only species that know we're gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Animals know when they're going to die because they that's like a thing that they actually know when their moment is, but they don't know they're going to die. We're the opposite. We know we're going to die. We just don't know when.
And I think that changes us as a species because in a lot of ways, like in some ways it makes us do things quicker or be more urgent with what we need to do in life because we know we're going to die. Whereas an animal has no fucking idea. He's just like, oh, another day. And I just found that super interesting that like, wow, every other species has no idea that it's mortal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, those people that would run those scams, I think they are more animalistic than your average person.
Agreed. Like, that's what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of unconscious. They're like essentially human coyotes.
Yeah, they're so in tune to their nature and their instincts. Yeah. Whereas we set aside our Like if I was based on my instincts, I would literally just walk out my house, pull the girl's pants down in the middle of the street. But me, as
Oh
in my
my
brain, goes,
gosh.
"Hey,
We have to end this Zoom quick.
no," but that's like my DNA tells me.
Of that, please.
The
Oh,
views
by
and
the way-
opinions expressed here are not
Hey,
those.
so this isn't live, so Joe might want to edit the rape part.
The rape part. That might be tough. Hey, this is the time I think is wrapping up. If is that correct, Jeff?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
we're
killed
close.
it with
I mean,
the
we
whole.
can. If you want to go for another one, if you want to end it, or,
Scott's like, please don't end it now.
No, I think we need to end it now. I'm good. I just basically told the world that I want to rape people.
And he's not drinking, ladies and gentlemen. He's stone cold sober.
Yo, cut this out, okay?
Scott's drunk. I think.
Don't worry,
He's on
ladies.
drugs.
Let's do the end right here then.
Don't
and then we
worry,
can cut
ladies.
that part out.
Thank you for joining this special Corona edition of the Whatever Bro podcast. Thank you for joining us. I want to point to everybody. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Justin. Thanks,
Hero.
Jeff.
Call me Hero. The Whatever Bro Hero podcast.
Bless you. Justin is such a hero, staying home, not working.
Yes, thank you for acknowledging my hero-ness, Joe.
Hey, Justin, you're starting to look a little drunk too, a little bit.
It's all the wine. I
Okay,
think.
it's the fucking lighting in here. I have a red face for some reason.
Yeah.
If anybody
Alright.
needs me, I'm going to a party in my bathroom later. So if you guys need me, I'll be there.
Hit me up. All right, guys. Take it
Bye.
Peace, guys.
Later.
Thank you.
Heroes.
easy. Heroes among
Whatever,
us.
bro, heroes. Bunch of heroes around here. Saving the goddamn world, we are. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Bye.
Heroes. Bye,
Scott
fellow
just left.
heroes. Scott took off.
He gets impatient.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Later, guys.
Later, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
heroes.
Later, hero.
Bye, heroes. Just me and you, Joe. Just a couple of heroes hanging out.
I
Being
thought I
heroic.
ended the meeting, but apparently not.
Well, we've distilled it down to the two most heroic heroes among
I mean,
us.
this is the real talent, right? I
Yeah.
mean, how would they even put on a show without the two of us? Let's be honest here.
Without us two heroes, I don't think they'd stand a chance.
All right, I'm leaving for real.
All right.
Later,
All right,
man.
fellas,
And
well,
try and get a brand new light that's not red. That'd be a great idea.
keep being heroic out there. I'll keep being heroic.
Awesome. Here's to heroes. Cheers. Later, man.